This is Sean Sport in podcast form.
Going to start off with a bit of golf to talk about, actually, because the world number one golfer, Scotty Scheffler, he just won another tournament overnight. And in the last five times he's graced the golf course, he's won 4 of those events. So get a load of this. He won the Arnold Palmer Invitational, which was the first event.
That's
which
a drink, Arnold
Yeah, it is
Palmer.
an Arnold Palmer.
$4 million.
$4 million
First
for the
up.
Arnold Palmer, right?
Yep.
Go.
So then the next event, it was the Players' Championship, $4.5 million. He won it.
$8.5 million.
Yep. Then he came tied for second in the Houston Open, 550 large.
Oh, here we go. That's 950. Is that right? 900,000.
Yes.
So it's about
900.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
9 million and 50,000.
Yeah, it's hit 9 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then he followed up with winning the US Masters, which is huge. Just last week, that was 3.6 million.
So he's won 12. And
And
Then-
how long? How many weeks is that?
12 and a half.
Ah, this is over 5 weeks. Yeah,
Five
five weeks probably.
I mean, this is
then he
before
won
tax, though.
overnight.
Yeah, you're right.
$3.6 million to
Oh,
add
okay.
to it.
So he's
So
up
So
to,
we're
he's
up to
over
about
16.
nearly 16 million.
Yeah.
16 million.
In how many
16.2, I think.
weeks?
About five.
US.
US.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Harry. Yeah.
So what's that approximately?
20, it's over 20 million.
Wow. And that was 6 weeks of golf.
Yep.
Around 6 weeks of golf. Taylor Swift does that in one concert.
That's true.
25 million. Boom. Each concert.
I know, but do you think... I feel it'd be much harder, like, performing...
Oh, yeah, then playing
Yes.
golf.
I mean, she
playing
has,
golf.
Down.
she has to train by running on a treadmill and
Hands
singing,
down.
And singing.
the whole concert. So
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
He doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And then she's got to do a world tour, like
Yeah.
jump on planes, and,
Private jets, they're awful.
perform. He's just smashing a golf ball with people clapping, golf clapping, which is, not over the top.
And he's not even carrying his own bag.
Yeah.
Have a go at that.
Interesting.
Now, also on the news last night, you might have seen a girl by the name of Nelly Corder,
Yeah.
who has won 5 LPGA. Yep. Very hard for me to say. Tournaments, so she's going particularly well. And I remember following her many years ago. Her dad was a professional tennis player, and so was her mum. Now,
Yeah,
her
Peter
dad
Corder. Yeah.
ended up getting... Well, he got sidelined for cheating at one stage because he took some kind of diuretic, I believe. He was the world's skinniest man. Remember him with this
He
like
was
alien
an
head on his body?
unusual-looking man.
Who is
Peter
this, sorry?
Peter
Peter
Corder.
Corder, Nath.
But then Nelly has clearly got her looks from her mum because she's a very attractive
She
young
really
lady.
is, yeah. So the
Peter.
P-E-T-R as well.
P-E-T-R.
K-O-R-D-A. Yes, exactly.
Now, Peter Corder, he was a top 10 player. Like, he was always in the top 20
Oh.
therefore.
Yes.
And so he then
Now
married
Google the mum.
a
Can I
Czechoslovakian.
say he's got Beavis and Butthead head?
Yes, no.
It's unfortunate.
And that's probably a good photo of him, by
I
the
mean,
way.
this one
very
here?
talented tennis
That's
player.
him. That's
Yeah.
him, right?
He was an amazing
him.
tennis player.
He was.
Google his wife
Yeah.
because we need to see where that genetic.
Is she gorgeous?
Well, the
Of
daughter.
course.
Look at the daughter.
Oh, no, he's a wife.
So they had 2 boys and 2
Yeah.
girls. 2 girls, I think, are both... Yeah, 2 girls are both professional golfers, and one of the sons is a professional tennis player. And we're having a look... Sorry, guys, we've got this big screen in here which Harry can bring up all the things we're asking for straight away. And
Yeah,
Peter
Nelly
Corder,
takes after her mum.
and we know
He
we've
looks good.
mentioned
He
this
looks
the other
better
day.
there.
We've mentioned this. If you're high-level sporting, it does not matter what you look like.
Correct.
You
Oh,
are
my
pulling
God.
chicks left, right, and centre.
It is.
Exhibit A.
It is sometimes criminal. Criminal,
is.
the situations some of these ladies have gone into.
Not that we judge anybody on their
We
looks,
should never.
obviously.
You should never. But sometimes
Incredible
I remember. Can I tell you the most confused flight I was ever on? I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember who I was on there with, but we discussed it for quite a lot of the flight. Was this couple, and they were a backpacking couple, and it was the opposite. The guy was dramatically way better looking than his partner, and we were just going, and all we wanted to do was go out there and just ask why. Like, and I know it's love, but how did that come to be? Because you got to first meet.
Oh, yeah, and
No,
the
I
rule
agree.
of
They've got to
thumb
be the
is,
attraction.
you know, you have to be on the same level. Like a
Yes.
5 and a 5 go well
Yes,
together. You can
that's
go
the rule
up
of
or
thumb.
down one.
But Natalie, this was a 9. This was a
But
9 and
if
a
you-
4.
But if you throw money into the equation, it changes it. So she was obviously rich.
Can I also
Obviously
throw
then,
into
yeah.
this mix now that we brought up this thing? I saw Keanu Reeves the other day when he was out
yeah.
with his wife.
I
no, don't
like
question
that, though.
it.
Do not question
Do not
it. Do
question
not
it.
question
Their
that
love is
because
perfect.
Keanu has gone through a lot in his life. He's the nicest man in the world, and she is apparently a saint.
Yep.
And he's happy to be with her. They are happy. Leave them alone.
She looks like a nana, and
No, they're
he
both
would
the
pull
same
any
age.
chick under the sun.
They're the same age.
They're the same age. It's that she hasn't done the Hollywood thing. She hasn't gone and gotten bucket loads of surgery.
Like,
she hasn't
looks
dyed her hair.
gorgeous there. She does look gorgeous. She's age appropriate.
She's a nana. Age appropriate. Nah.
Put the photo of them making
I
out.
expected to see his wife being hot as chips.
Why? Keanu's
what do you
not
mean?
hot as chips anymore.
No.
You know what I mean?
They're on the same level. It's just that he's famous.
yeah.
No way.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know. We need to throw this up there.
Objectively.
and
Okay,
get
Sean,
people
I'll
to-
be honest. First time I saw it, it jarred me because I wasn't prepared, but I've gotten used to their love. Because she does look like she could have been cast in a Harry Potter movie. Like, she's got the Hogwarts about her.
Oh, she looks...
But I like that.
she's a bit
she
Helen
is,
Mirren,
but
actually.
she's
So
a
she
bit
looks like
Helen
that.
Mirren.
She looks a bit
Mate,
like
she
Helen
has
Mirren.
scored big time. She has scored big time. She's hanging on for
But
dear life there.
this is the beautiful thing. He believes he scored big
Yes.
time. That's what's beautiful
Which is
about
what
their
some
love.
husbands believe, Sean.
Me
Don't
too,
they,
Nate.
Sean?
What time is it?
Wow.
Why did your voice go higher?
Oh, that's exactly
You
what I
waited
believe.
just a tiny bit too long,
Nah,
Sean. I'm just
that
going
was
to
a
put
good
it out
call.
there.
I just had to check the time.
Sean Sport in podcast form.
I was at a lunch a couple of days ago and it was Andrew Dillon, who's the CEO of the AFL, who was speaking, and they asked him a question about the fixturing for the AFL competition in regards to West Coast Eagles and Fremantle being over here and constantly jumping on a plane. Now, last year the West Coast Eagles flew about 61,500 Ks and
Wow.
Fremantle were around the 60,000 K mark. The year before it was Fremantle who flew around 62 and West Coast 61.
And compared
So-
to the other teams flying what?
Carlton this year fly 14,000 Ks,
that-
so
oh, wow,
Freo
that's
and West Coast are up to
crazy.
60, right?
Collingwood famously very low mileage as well.
So Collingwood play 17 games at the MCG. So just
They
take
don't
that.
have to fly there, Nathan.
Fremantle and West Coast, if they played 15 to 17 home games, they would play in finals.
Yes.
There would be no discussion
Okay,
about
so-
the wooden spoon for West Coast, which it was only a week ago.
How many home games do we have?
We have 12. We'll probably have 12 in the end between both
So
teams.
is it a case of we can't change where you live, and that's the realities of you being a team in Western Australia?
That's kind of what, you
That's
have
what
to
they're
accept
saying,
that that's
or
the
is
case.
that do we have to accept
But like
that?
the Dockers hadn't played at
I
home
don't think
for
we
a
have to
month
accept it.
until last Saturday, right?
That's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
So I just wanted to bring this to attention because it was brought up on AFL 360 last night. It was talked about how two teams got beaten last week at but people thought they would go well, which is St Kilda, and the other one was Fremantle. And both those teams had their scheduling really compromised over the last 4 weeks.
Because St Kilda didn't have 3 games in 11 days.
Yes, they
See,
did.
that's outrageous.
Fremantle was basically the same,
Yeah.
plus travel. This is the question being asked to Collingwood coach Craig McRae, first of all, and then Damien Hardwick, who's now coaching the Gold Coast, chimes in.
There's no way that you could look at the draw and say it's fair anywhere. It's just everyone understands it. It's just which bit is yours. That's reality, isn't it? We play more games at the MCG than anyone else. Is that fair? Clearly not. And then how much West Coast and Fremantle have to travel and the others? There's no way it is fair.
Oh, look, it is what it is. We know the draw is going to be compromised, and there's some things. Look, trust me, coming from Victoria up to Gold Coast, all of a sudden I've realised where the airport is from that point of view. There are some benefits. The frequent flyer points are going up.
The draw's going to be compromised. What are they talking about? The compromise.
Well, it's already compromised because
Yes.
you don't play the same.
Yeah.
Nobody plays
Yeah.
each team the same number
Yeah, I
of
know,
times.
but
no.
so they're
yes, so
saying
that's
they're
compromised.
saying it's dodgy, it's not right, but that's it.
But I don't like the comment of it is what it is.
I know.
No, it can be changed. It can be worked out so that Fremantle and West Coast are allocated, I don't know, 1 or 2 more home
Yeah.
games.
It's
I
because
don't know.
it's-
They don't have to travel. I mean,
Yeah.
at Sydney, they get their home games plus they play away. You're 45 minutes
Yeah.
and you're
Can I
playing
just say, it's another element put into the mix that our teams have to deal with, and,
That's right.
and fatigue and flights and all that sort of stuff, and being away from your family and that, and compared to how many games Collingwood's playing at the MCG. That all plays on you, and that plays on your performance. It's not right. It should be a equal playing field.
And
I'm
if-
not watching it until they fix it.
Well said. Well said. I think the thing is, Nat, with the fact that, we've always got to play away, they've got to
you.
play
Yes.
here.
Thank you.
And they were talking about the fixtures were really put in place back in the Victorian days when the VFL was happening because you just drive from North Melbourne to
Correct.
the MCG.
Like the
and you play a
Victorian
team.
era, like Bridgerton.
Yes.
Bridgerton.
Was that when it was
new
way
season
back then?
coming up?
I know,
Yeah.
I know.
So getting back to it for a second, the one thing that's really been shocking for St Kilda, which you brought up, and the Dockers in particular, is they keep playing short turnaround. So they play on a Saturday, then they play on a Friday, then they play on a Saturday early game, and then they play a Friday again. It's just, and the Dockers have been hit by injury in the last 3 weeks. There's a concussion. There's been 2 concussions, but there's been some injuries as well. It doesn't give you the best opportunity to perform. And same goes for the West Coast Eagles. People's jobs are on the line here.
Yeah, that's right.
And I know people get paid a truckload of money, but you've got to be able to perform at your best. And if you're not given that opportunity and then someone's going, sorry, Adam Simpson, you haven't won enough games, you're out. Well, my team hasn't been able to perform because we haven't given them the best opportunity by the league who controls what goes on.
It's definitely not a level playing field.
They will
We've
not
known that for a
change
long
it,
time.
though.
I mean, this is
Well,
what
they've
we
got
spoke to Eddie Maguire about this, and he basically, his attitude is it's a commercial decision.
Yeah.
That because they're a business, they're not running, it's not, they have no drive to be fair. Their drive is to make money. And so if that means playing Collingwood at the MCG more often because they draw a bigger crowd, they're going to do it, whether it's fair or not. You know, when the Eagles played in the grand final in 2018, they'd only played like 2 games at the MCG for the entire year. The ground they have to play the grand final on, and Collingwood had played there 15, 16 times. You go, that's not fair.
No, it's not fair, and that'll never work. They've got that long-term...
I mean, it worked that year, but
Until the unfairness hits one of their teams, nothing will change.
The only thing that they can do at this point in time that I see being helpful is the fact that they need to give more days between games for our West Australian teams to
So
be
if
able
they
to
keep
recover.
making us fly this much, we play once a month.
There, there, I said it.
Sean Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.